Hi everybody. Today I'm going to attach the metal to the oak slab. As you can see, I've routed out the shape and the metal is sitting inside. I'll give you a closer look. Let's see, get a look at that. So as you can see, it's sitting in there. It's pretty much flush. There are a few sections where it's sitting up just a bit, but once I put the bolts in there to hold it down, it'll be just fine. So that's what we got. Those pencil marks. Those pencil marks are from all the back and forth routering I had to do to get these cuts in, and the cuts look pretty tight. Pretty happy with that, with the way the cuts turned out. I mean, it's impossible to get it perfect under the circumstances because it's so jagged, you know, the sides, but pretty happy with it. So I've put some points here where you can see there's a blue dot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And those are places where I'm going to drill through, cut off a bolt, pop the bolt through the hole, and then weld it through the top. And then on the back, I'm going to take the hole and router out the shape so I can put a nut on there and countersink it. So we'll see how this goes. It's kind of a long, every step is long. You know, there are no the only quick step is staining and the varnish. That's the quickest stuff. Everything else is long and time consuming and generally kind of hard. So we'll have to see, how it goes. I'm going to start off by drilling some small holes. And if I'm lucky, this drill bit will do it, because I definitely go through some drill bits. Before I start, I forgot about that. Got to put a couple of clamps down to keep the metal from kicking back up like it's done before. Let's see. That ought to do it. All right. Start with the small bit. See how it goes. Well, I don't know how much you missed because the camera cut off. Still having a couple of problems with that. Using a GoPro, it's okay, but I've got it hooked up to the charger cord now. So anyway, like I said, I don't know how much you missed, but I cut off 10 bolts like this, and I'm getting ready to weld the bolts in through the top of the hole. And I've got a little piece of protective metal to try to keep me from doing too much damage to the wood. although I must admit, it's a little tricky. Alright, well, let's turn this a little bit. So now, what I've done is, what I've attempted to do is just weld the bolts on well enough so that I can take it out, clean it up, and weld it better. But there's a chance that some of them didn't take, and that's always kind of a drag. And I'm getting ready to find out how all that really went. Let's see. Would be nice to get lucky, but I'm not going to count on it. Got lucky. So here's the wood that's been routed out, and I'm going to clean it up. All the burns and all that stuff, you won't see that at the end. And like I said, it appears I got lucky, which is good. And here's the piece of metal, and on the back you can see where we've got the bolts that have been welded through the front. And now I'm just gonna try to make those a little better, and at that point, once I make them better and I know they're tight, I can clean them up on the other side, make it nice and smooth, clean up the metal more, take these holes in the back, this one might give me a little trouble, but, and use a router bit to router out 25 millimeter holes down to a certain depth, so I can fit the nuts on the end of the bolts, and then have just enough room afterwards to put an oak plug in there. So at the next point, the next video, I guess I will I'll show you what that looks like once it's tightened up with the bolts. Then I'll have to take it back out to stain it, because I'm going to stain this one, and then put some varnish on this, put a different varnish on the metal, and once that's all nice and dry, put them back together again, and then take the stand from the first video, drill 2 holes in the bottom, and put the stand on it. Alright. Well, that's all for today, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it.